Hello and welcome back to Cinnamon Sanctuary, and a warm welcome to my new and old subscribers. I see you all. Thank you very much for tuning in. And without any further ado, I'm going to walk you through how to make this delicious curry goat. All of the ingredients will be listed in the description box, but I'll just give you a quick run through of what we will be using to make our curry goat. So we have some mild curry powder here, about 2 teaspoons each of turmeric and garam masala. We'll be using some Caribbean mixed herbs and as well as some all-purpose seasoning by Don's River. We'll also be using a bit of black pepper and some pink Himalayan salt. We'll be using some aromat nor, my usual that I can't seem to go without. And I chopped about 3 spring onions, which will go into the meat mix. And we'll also be using about 5 sprigs of thyme, some whole pimento, and 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. Next, we have about 6-7 baby plum tomatoes just cut in half. We'll be using about 3/4 of a yellow bell pepper, just sliced, and I sliced a whole onion, just very thick round slices, as well as 3 carrots. In front of me, we have 1 kilo of goat meat, which has been thoroughly washed in water and vinegar. And I just purchased this from my local African shop. And I'm just going to go ahead and season it with all of the ingredients that I just listed. I also added about 1 tablespoon of oil to sort of act as a lubricant and aid the mixing process. And then I'm just going to go ahead and thoroughly mix all of the spices and vegetables into the meat. And as usual, you know me by now, I just go in straight with my hand. I find it so much easier to get into all of the crevices. I wasn't actually going to add the carrots at this point. I was just going to add them much later on into the stew, but I had a light bulb moment and thought, why not? It doesn't hurt, they'll just get extra tasty, so I decided that I will add them in as well. Now we can just cover the bowl with some cling film and let the meat marinate, ideally overnight, but in my case I let it marinate for 5 hours. Once the meat is nicely marinated, we can now get cooking. So I've added about 1 tablespoon of oil, and on medium to high heat, we can now go ahead and brown our meat on both sides. So I'm just adding this all into the pot in one layer. Thankfully, there was enough space for all of the meat, and you just let it brown. I think the whole process takes per side about 7 to 8 minutes. And it's not going to burn, just make sure that you use a non-stick pan and check on it from time to time, but it shouldn't take more than 7 minutes per side. And once one side is about browned, I just went ahead and put all of the vegetables that were in the mix as well to combine with the meat. And I'm just about to turn the meat over, and this color is exactly what you're looking for. So once the other side is browned, you can go ahead and add some water. So I've rinsed out the bowl that I used to marinate the meat because I didn't want to waste anything. There's lots of flavor left in there, so I might as well use it. And I used hot water to rinse it out, and I'm not totally submerging the meat, so the water shown here is the exact quantity that you will need to cook your meat. And at this point, I also decided to add 1 Scotch bonnet pepper, which I would have removed an hour later. I didn't want this to burst because again, I didn't want this to end up too spicy. So now we can just cover this up and come back an hour and a half later. Our curry goat has been cooking on low heat for about an hour and a half now, and I'm just checking back on it to also add some extra ingredients. So the carrots that I chopped earlier, I didn't add them at the beginning of the cooking time because I didn't want them to end up too mushy. So the onions I left behind earlier, as well as some of the peppers, and adding them now for extra flavor. And I'm also going to go ahead and add the carrots. I'm just gently stirring the vegetables into the stew, and this can stay on for a further 45 minutes, at which point our curry goat should be pretty much done. Our curry goat has been cooking for just under 2.5 hours, and here is the end product. The meat is nice and tender and flaky. The vegetables have a crunch in them, especially the carrots, because we added them in the middle of our cooking time. And this is just your perfect combination for a nice weekend dinner. And the kitchen smells amazing. Honestly, this makes a kitchen smell like home. It makes a house smell like home. I love it. So I'm just going to zoom in and show you what the meat looks like. And we were going to enjoy this with some rice and peas. I had some rice and peas in the freezer because some weeks ago I cooked some and decided to leave the remains in the freezer because I knew that at some point I was going to cook some curry goat. So yeah, here we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment and a like if you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you very soon on my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.